It was a cloudy afternoon in the city of New Haven. People hurried past each other on the busy sidewalks. Cars honked, screens blinked, and machines buzzed everywhere. In this fast, bright, and noisy world, nobody noticed the quiet figures sitting on corners, especially not the old ones, but Mia did. She was 15, wore a backpack too big for her, and always took the same path home from school. Her father told her not to talk to strangers. Her mother told her to walk fast and keep her eyes forward. But Mia believed in kindness. Even in a world full of machines and robots, she thought people still mattered. As she passed the corner near the old library, she saw the man again. He was always there. His coat was torn, his hair messy, and he never asked for anything. He just sat there with his head low, as if the world had forgotten him long ago. But today, Mia stopped. She reached into her pocket and pulled out some coins she had saved from lunch. It wasn't much, just a few credits, but enough for a warm drink or a simple meal. "Here," she said softly, holding out the change. The man slowly lifted his head. His eyes were not like others. They were deep and bright, almost silver, and seemed to glow slightly in the dim light. He looked at her, really looked at her like no one else had before. "You see me?" he said. Mia nodded, confused. "Of course. I do. No, I mean, you see me," he repeated, voice rough but calm. "Others don't, not really." Mia smiled a little. "Well, I think they should." The man looked at the coins in her hand. Then, very carefully, he reached out and touched her fingers. The moment he did, Mia felt a strange warmth rush through her arm and into her chest. Her heart skipped a beat. Then suddenly, her eyes widened. In her mind, she saw stars, endless stars, giant machines floating in space, a planet being built, piece by piece, and then fire, war, destruction, and silence. She stepped back, heart racing. What was that?" she whispered. The man slowly stood up. Now that he wasn't crouched, Mia saw he was taller than she thought. His back straightened, his voice steadier. "I wasn't always like this," he said. "Once, I was called Saren. I was part of the core Watchers Keepers of Balance in the galaxy. But I made a mistake. I trusted the wrong species. They destroyed everything, so I came here to hide." Mia couldn't speak. Her mouth opened, but no words came out. He continued, "I lost everything, my people, my power, even my name. But today you reminded me of something I thought was gone. Hope," he added quietly. Mia's hands were still shaking. "You're not human?" "Not anymore," he said. "But I once chose to become one." Mia took a deep breath. This was too much. She had just wanted to help an old man, not discover that aliens walked among them. "But why me?" she asked. "Why show me this?" "Because something is coming," Saren said, his eyes narrowing. "And you're the first person who saw me, not with fear or hate, but with kindness. That means something, more than you know." Mia's heart beat faster. She felt like the world had just shifted under her feet. Was this real? Was she dreaming? He reached into his coat and pulled out a small metal piece, shaped like a star. He placed it in her hand. "When the sky burns," he whispered, "this will guide you." And just like that, he turned and walked away. Mia stood alone, holding the strange metal star, staring after the man who wasn't really a man at all. That night, Mia couldn't sleep. She lay in her bed, staring at the ceiling while the strange metal star rested on her table. Every time she closed her eyes, she saw the glowing eyes of the old man Saren. She saw the stars, the machines, and the burning sky. Her fingers reached for the star again. It felt warm, not hot, just alive, as if something inside it was moving, waiting. Was it real? Had she imagined it all? She thought of telling her parents, but how could she explain any of it? They would laugh or worry. Maybe they'd even take her to a doctor. So she kept quiet. The next morning, Mia walked the same path to school, half expecting Saren to be on the corner. He wasn't. The spot where he sat was empty. No torn coat, no old bag. No sign of anyone being there at all. She stood there for a moment, unsure what to do. The city moved around her like always. People walked fast. Cars flew overhead. Drones hummed. Life went on. But something had changed for her. She touched the star in her pocket. A small light blinked at its center. Suddenly, a soft voice whispered in her mind. Guide locked, path opened. Mia froze. The voice was not hers, not even human. It sounded like music, like metal singing in the wind. She looked around. No one else seemed to hear it. The star pulsed again, and this time, a faint glowing line appeared in front of her, on the ground like a path made of light. It curved to the left, away from her school, toward the edge of the city. Mia stared at it. She should go to class. She had homework due and a test in the afternoon. But her feet moved on their own. She followed the light. The glowing path led her through side streets, under old train tracks, and finally into a part of the city she had never visited before. The buildings here were older, quiet, and full of forgotten signs. Everything looked like it belonged to another time. The light stopped at a broken gate. Behind it stood a long-abandoned warehouse. Mia hesitated. Her heart beat faster. This could be dangerous. But something in her chest, something deep and strong, told her to move forward. She pushed the gate. It creaked open. Inside, dust covered the floor. Crates were stacked high. But in the middle of the space, something strange stood, a tall metal pillar with spinning rings around it. Floating in the air, the star in Mia's hand began to glow brighter. As she stepped closer, the rings stopped spinning and a beam of light shot upward. A voice spoke again, this time louder, clearer. Watcher code confirmed. Saren's key accepted. Guardian candidate detected. Mia blinked. What? Guardian? A small platform rose from the floor. On it sat a smooth glass orb. Inside, little stars moved, just like in the vision Saren had shown her. This device contains the memory of the Watchers, the voice said. You have been chosen to carry their legacy. Mia shook her head. I'm just a girl. I can't do this. The voice softened. You saw someone others ignored. You gave when others passed by. That is why you were chosen. The galaxy needs not strength, it needs heart. She didn't know what to say. She stepped back, afraid. But the orb floated into her hands. As soon as she touched it, her mind filled with images, planets, languages, tools, history. She saw Saren's people. She saw battles, victories, and deep sadness. She saw Earth from far above, and something else, something dark moving toward it. A shadow in the stars. Mia dropped to her knees, breathing hard. The light faded. The voice was silent again. She was alone in the warehouse. The star in her pocket was quiet. But now the orb glowed gently in her hands. Mia stood up slowly. She didn't understand everything. But she knew one thing for sure, something big was coming. And somehow she was now part of it. Mia didn't go straight home after leaving the warehouse. Her head was spinning. The orb in her backpack glowed softly, and the metal star still pulsed in her pocket. Every step felt heavy, like she was walking through a dream she couldn't wake up from. The words echoed in her mind. Guardian candidate detected. The galaxy needs heart. She didn't feel like a guardian. She felt like a confused teenager who had just missed her math test. When she finally reached home, her mom was in the kitchen, making soup. You're late, she said, frowning. Where were you? Mia quickly lied. Library, group project. Her mom sighed but nodded. Eat first, then finish your homework. Mia went to her room, closed the door, and locked it. She pulled the orb from her bag and placed it on the desk. It hovered a few inches above the surface, glowing with tiny lights that looked like stars. She whispered, "Can you hear me?" The Orb answered in a soft, calm voice. Yes, this unit is awake. Awaiting your command. Mia sat down, her hands shaking slightly. What am I supposed to do now? The orb paused. You carry Saren's key. That means you are now the last known contact of the Watchers. Their enemies will find this world. When they do, it must be defended. Enemies? She asked, voice low. They are called the Drexer. They consume planets, harvest technology, and erase entire species. Saren escaped them, but now they are coming here. Mia felt cold inside. Why Earth? We're just people. That is exactly why, the orb said. The Drexer do not understand humans. Your emotions, your choices, your kindness. They fear what they do not understand. And that makes you dangerous to them. Mia stood up and started pacing. But I'm not a fighter. I don't even know how to fly a drone, let alone protect a planet. The orb spoke again. You won't be alone. The key Saren gave you, it will awaken the others. Others? Guardians. Hidden across Earth. Waiting. Mia took the star out of her pocket and looked at it. How do I find them? The orb lit up and a hologram appeared in the air. 3 glowing points on a map of Earth. One was nearby, right in New Haven. The other 2 were far away. The first guardian is within this city. The signal is weak but still alive. You must find them. Together, you will unlock the Watcher's defense system. Mia's heart beat faster. This was real. Too real. She placed the orb back into her backpack and decided to leave a message for herself just in case. She opened her small notebook and wrote, If I disappear, don't be scared. I have to find something important. I'm not alone. Mia, she placed the note under her pillow. That night, she barely slept. The next morning, Mia left early. She didn't go to school. She followed the map from the orb. The path led her toward the edge of the city, near the old factories that hadn't worked in years. Nature had started to take over, trees growing through cracks, vines crawling up broken walls. She entered a narrow alley, guided by the blinking light from the orb. Suddenly, the light stopped blinking. The orb said, Signal found, Guardian nearby. Mia looked around. Nothing but empty buildings. Then she heard a sound. A soft voice. Someone humming. She followed the sound and found a boy, maybe a little older than her, sitting on a step outside an abandoned building. His clothes were dusty, his shoes worn, and his eyes tired but kind. He looked up at her. You followed the light, didn't you? Mia blinked. How do you know? He pulled a small, broken metal piece from his coat. It looked like a part of her star. I've been waiting for someone with the other half, he said. My name is Aaron. Mia slowly held up her star. It glowed brighter near him. Their pieces fit together. And the moment they touched, the light between them flared like fire. As the 2 star pieces touched, a strong light flashed between Mia and Aaron. It was not blinding, but it filled the space with a soft, warm glow like standing under the sun after days of rain. Mia stepped back in surprise. The orb in her backpack began to hum softly. Aaron smiled, though there was sadness in his eyes. I always hoped someone would come. I didn't think it would really happen. Mia looked at him carefully. You're a guardian too? He nodded. Kind of. My piece was passed to me when I was younger, from a man who looked just like the one you described. He said, one day, someone will come with the other half. Don't lose hope. I've kept it ever since. Mia sat on the old stone step next to him. Then Saren gave me the other piece. That means we were meant to meet. Aaron pulled something out from under his coat. It was a tiny crystal cube. Inside it, small lights blinked like tiny stars. This is my orb. It's old. The power inside it is fading. That's why I couldn't find you. Mia opened her backpack and took out her orb. The moment she placed it beside his, both orbs glowed brighter. Connection complete, her orb said. 2 guardians linked, strength increased. Aaron looked at Mia. Do you know why they chose us? I'm not sure, Mia answered. I gave Saren a few coins, that's it. I didn't do anything special. You saw him, Aaron said. That's what matters. Most people don't see what's in front of them, but you did. For a moment, they both sat quietly. The old factory around them felt peaceful, as if the building itself had been waiting for this day. Then Mia asked, What do we do now? The orb said something is coming. Something bad, Aaron nodded. The Drexer, I've heard of them too. They destroy worlds. They don't care about life or kindness. They only take. Mia looked at the map again. The third point had changed. It now pulsed red. The third guardian signal is unstable, the orb said. It is fading. You must hurry. Where is it? Mia asked. The orb zoomed in on the red dot. It was across the ocean, in a cold and rocky land full of snow-covered mountains. Too far to walk, Aaron said. There must be another way, Mia replied. Suddenly, Aaron stood up. Come with me. There's something I want to show you. He led Mia through narrow paths and broken streets until they reached an underground parking garage. Most of it was dark, but in one corner, hidden under an old tarp, was a strange-looking vehicle. It wasn't like a normal car. It was sleek, silver, and shaped like a bird. What is that? Mia asked. My father built it, Aaron said quietly. He used pieces from something that crashed here years ago. He called it a sky glider. It hasn't flown in a long time, but maybe, with your orb's power, it can work again. Mia placed her orb near the machine. It lit up immediately. The glider hummed to life. Lights flickered and a soft voice spoke from inside the ship. System active. Guardian codes detected. Flight path ready. Mia looked at Aaron surprised. It worked, Aaron smiled. Then we're going, they packed quickly. Mia left a short note for her parents again, hiding it in her room. I'll be gone for a while. Don't worry, I'll come back. Love, Mia. That evening, as the sun dipped behind the skyline of New Haven, the sky glider rose silently into the air. Inside, Mia and Aaron sat side by side, watching the world grow smaller beneath them. She looked out the window. Do you think we'll make it in time? Aaron stared ahead. We have to. As the stars began to appear in the sky, their journey toward the third guardian and the danger that waited had begun. The sky glider flew smoothly across the sky, far above the clouds. Mia sat near the window, her eyes fixed on the stars. She still couldn't believe all this was real. Saren, the glowing orb, the guardian title, the Drexer threat. Just a few days ago, she was worried about school and homework. Now she was flying toward danger with a boy she barely knew. Aaron sat beside her, checking the ship's controls. The orb floated in the air between them, showing a red blinking dot over a snowy land. Signal is weak, the orb said. Guardian is still alive but fading. Why is it fading? Mia asked, possibly injured or in deep sleep. Must be activated before total shutdown. Can we land close to them? Aaron asked the orb. Landing area is rough, strong winds. Limited space. But possible. Mia and Aaron looked at each other. Aaron nodded. Let's go. An hour later, the glider landed roughly on a flat area surrounded by icy cliffs and white snow. The wind was strong, and the cold air hit them the moment they stepped out. Mia shivered. She pulled her jacket tight, her breath showing in the cold air. It's freezing. Aaron handed her a small heating pack. Put this inside your coat. It helps. They followed the blinking light from the orb through the snow. The land was empty, quiet, too quiet. The only sound was the wind and the soft beep of the orb's signal. Soon they saw it. A dome of glass. Half buried in the ice. Inside was a figure, lying still. Mia rushed forward and wiped the snow from the glass. It was a girl, maybe their age, with short silver hair and pale skin. Her hands were folded across her chest, and a small glowing mark sat on her forehead. "She's the third guardian," Mia whispered. Aaron touched the side of the dome. "But how do we wake her?" The orb floated down and released a small beam of light into the dome's lock, matching guardian signals. Opening stasis pod. With a soft hiss, the dome opened. The girl's eyes fluttered open slowly. At first, she looked confused. Then her eyes focused on Mia and Aaron. She sat up weakly. I thought I would sleep forever," she said softly. "Who are you?" "We're like you," Mia said gently. "Guardians. We found our keys. We followed the signal to you." The girl looked at them, then nodded slowly. "My name is Nira. I was sent to Earth many years ago to wait. But I was damaged during the landing. I couldn't move. I used the last of my energy to send the signal." Aaron helped her sit up fully. "You're safe now. But we don't have much time." Nira looked up at the sky. Her face grew serious. "The Drexer," she said. "They're close, aren't they?" Mia nodded. "How do you know?" "I can feel them," Nira replied. "They follow the Guardian. Keys. And now that all three are active, they know we're awake." Mia felt a chill that had nothing to do with the cold. "We have to get back to the city," she said. "We have to warn people." But Nira shook her head. "No, we need to. Go to the Watcher's Beacon. It's hidden deep underground, near the Earth's core. Only the three Guardians together can unlock it. That's where the true power is, the only thing that can stop the Drexer." Aaron looked at Mia. "Do we trust her?" Mia didn't hesitate. "Yes, if Saren chose her, we have to." They helped Nira out of the pod. She was weak but strong enough to walk with help. The orb guided them back through the snow, lighting the path. As they reached the glider, dark clouds started to cover the sky. Nira looked up and said in a low voice, "They're already here, Mia." Turned toward the clouds. A strange shape moved behind them, something large, black, and silent. The Drexer ship. No lights. No sound. Just shadows hovered in the sky like a nightmare waiting to fall. The sky turned dark as the huge Drexer ship moved slowly through the clouds. It didn't make any noise, but the air felt heavier, like something terrible was pressing down from above. Mia, Aaron, and Nira stood near the glider, staring at the shadow in the sky. Nira's face turned pale. "They found us faster than I thought." Aaron looked worried. "Can we still make it to the Watcher's Beacon?" Nira nodded slowly. "Yes, but we must leave now. If they block the skies, we won't be able to escape." Mia helped Nira into the glider while Aaron checked the controls. The orb floated between them, now glowing a deep blue. "Warning, Drexer Scout detected. Time before interception 15 minutes. Mia looked at the screen. "That's not much time." The glider lifted into the air, snow blowing around them as they rose above the icy land. The Drexer ship was huge, long, and sharp like a floating blade. Small black objects started dropping from it. Drexer Scouts, thin, fast machines with red eyes and sharp wings. They moved like shadows, quiet and deadly. "They're scanning for us," Nira said. "If they find us, they'll destroy the glider." Mia looked out the window. "We need to go higher." Aaron pressed a few buttons, and the glider began to rise quickly. The cold made the windows frost over, but they broke through the clouds at last. Above them, the sky was clear and full of stars. They weren't safe yet, but for a moment, they could breathe. Nira touched the orb. "We must head south. The beacon is below an island covered by mountains. It's hidden deep underground." "Coordinates locked," the orb replied. "Estimated time to arrival, 1 hour." Suddenly, a loud beeping sound echoed in the glider. Drexer Scout had spotted them. It shot forward, faster than anything Mia had seen. A red beam flashed past the glider. "We're hit." Aaron shouted. Sparks flew from the side panel, and the glider shook. Smoke started to rise near the back. "We can't outrun it." Mia cried. Nira stood up, holding onto the wall. "Give me the orb." Mia passed it to her without asking questions. Nira placed her hands on it and closed her eyes. The orb glowed brighter, and a wave of light spread from it, covering the glider like a soft shield. The Drexer Scout fired again, but this time, the red beam bounced off the shield and vanished into the sky. Mia gasped. "It worked." Nira was breathing hard. "That was only a little power. I can't hold it for long." The Scout circled them once, then flew back toward the main ship. "They're calling for more," Aaron said. "We have to move fast." The glider sped forward, engines pushing as hard as they could. The sky behind them filled with more black dots, Drexer Scouts spreading like a swarm. But just before they were surrounded, the glider reached a thick cloud wall and slipped inside. Darkness filled the windows. Wind roared around them. The glider shook again. "We're going down." Aaron yelled. "No, we're almost there." Nira shouted back. The orb spoke. "Arrival zone reached. Begin descent." Through the clouds, they saw the top of a mountain flat, with a large circle carved into the rock. "That's it," Mia said. "Land there." Aaron guided the glider down. It shook violently, but he kept his hands steady. With a hard thump, they landed in the center of the circle. The moment the glider touched the ground, the mountain began to glow. Rings of light spread out beneath them. The orb floated high and spoke louder. 3 guardians present. Beacon ready to open. Mia, Nira, and Aaron stepped out of the glider. The rocky ground in front of them split open slowly, revealing stairs made of light, leading deep underground. Behind them, the Drexer Scouts broke through the clouds, searching. Mia turned to the others. "This is our only chance." They nodded, and together, the 3 guardians stepped into the mountain. The stairs closed behind them, and the final battle began to take shape. The stairs of light carried Mia, Aaron, and Nira deep into the mountain. The air grew cooler and quieter with every step. The walls around them shimmered softly, covered in symbols and glowing lines that pulsed like a heartbeat. Mia reached out and touched one of the glowing marks. It felt warm under her fingers. "What is this place?" she asked. Nira looked around with wide eyes. "The Watcher's Beacon. It's a place of power and knowledge, built long ago by Saren's people. It holds the secrets to protect Earth and the galaxy." Aaron nodded. "And only the 3 of us guardians can unlock its full strength." At the bottom of the stairs, a vast chamber opened before them. The ceiling stretched high, filled with lights that looked like stars. In the center was a large pedestal with 3 indentations shaped like their star pieces. Mia placed her star piece into the first slot. It fit perfectly and glowed bright. Aaron followed, setting his piece in the second slot. The room filled with a soft hum. Nira stepped forward and gently placed her piece in the last indentation. Suddenly, the chamber lit up like a sunrise. The walls shifted, revealing a massive screen covered with strange images, planets, stars, and ancient creatures. Orb floated above the pedestal, shining brighter than ever. Guardians linked. "Activation complete," it said. "Defense systems online." Mia felt a rush of energy. Her heart pounded, but she was calm too. The orb showed images of the Drexer fleet approaching Earth. They moved fast, their dark ships blotting out the stars. Nira's voice was steady but urgent. "This is the moment we prepare for. The beacon can create a shield around Earth if we work together." "How?" Mia asked. The orb responded. "Energy source requires synchronization of all Guardians' hearts and minds." Aaron looked at Mia and Nira. "We need to focus, trust each other." Mia closed her eyes and took a deep breath. She thought of the old man Saren and the kindness she showed him. She thought of the city, her family, and the people who never noticed what was happening. Nira and Aaron did the same. Slowly, they joined hands around the pedestal. A soft light began to glow from their joined hands, growing stronger and warmer. Chamber vibrated gently, and a wave of energy spread outward. filling the room with light. Outside the mountain, the Drexer fleet entered Earth's atmosphere. Their ships fired beams that tore through clouds and mountains. Cities below began to shake. But then, a shimmering shield appeared around the planet, a beautiful, glowing dome that stopped the Drexer's attacks like a wall. The ships paused. Confused and angry. Inside the chamber, the Guardians felt a sudden connection. Their thoughts, hopes, and fears blended into one. Mia's heart beat faster than ever, but she felt strong. Suddenly, the orb pulsed. A new message appeared. Drexer. Vulnerability detected. They cannot understand empathy. Shield strength increases with Guardian heart connection. Mia opened her eyes and smiled. We have their weakness. Nira nodded. They fear feelings. They destroy what they cannot control, but we protect what we love. Aaron added, that's why humans are special. Not just strength or technology, but heart. The shield around Earth grew brighter and stronger, pushing the Drexer fleet back. Frustrated, the Drexer retreated, disappearing into the dark space from where they came. The chamber quieted. The lights dimmed to a soft glow. Mia looked at her new friends. Did we really do it? Aaron smiled. For now. But the Drexer will return. We have to be ready. Nira touched Mia's shoulder. We are the first line of defense. Together, we can protect Earth and the galaxy. Mia took a deep breath. Then let's make sure we never forget that. Outside, the sun began to rise, painting the sky with warm colors. The Guardians stepped out of the mountain, knowing their lives had changed forever, and that the story of humans and their heart was just beginning.